Kevin Durant ready to drop his platinum verse after heated Nikola Jokic debate. Kevin Durant is no stranger to being part of basketball's most heated conversations, especially when it comes to offense. But when the Player's Choice podcast recently stirred a firestorm by claiming Nikola Jokic clears Durant as an offensive player, the 15-time All-Star felt compelled to respond. And in classic KD fashion, he didn't hold back. The debate began with a relatively tame discussion among podcast guests comparing the offensive prowess of two generational talents, Durant and Jokic. Things escalated when one panelist went as far as to say that Jokic was clearly superior offensively, a statement that sent social media into a frenzy and Durant himself straight into the comment sections. "I need to come lay my verse on this pod. It would go plat," Durant tweeted, jumping into the debate with the confidence of a man who knows exactly how elite he is. While Durant is known to engage in Twitter banter, this time he seemed genuinely annoyed, not necessarily because someone chose Jokic over him, but because the nuance of offensive greatness seemed lost in the noise. In a since-deleted fan post suggesting Durant was directly comparing himself to Jokic, the former league MVP replied, "I don't compare myself to anyone. I'm a one-of-one brother. I just want to talk a little basketball, brother, it's not that serious." Durant also brought a quote from up-and-coming star Ace Bailey into the mix to hammer home his belief in his well-rounded game. "I ain't got no weaknesses, big dog, Ace Bailey." As fans continued to tag him and stir the debate, someone mentioned that the podcast was still live. KD's reply, short and sweet, "Tell them tap me in." It was clear Durant was itching to speak his truth. A debate rooted in styles, not stats. At the core of this debate lies a fascinating contrast between two incredibly different styles of offensive dominance. Durant is a prototypical scorer, one of the most efficient, versatile, and consistent offensive forces the NBA has ever seen. Jokic, on the other hand, is a generational playmaker from the center position, often compared to LeBron James for his ability to control the tempo and make everyone around him better. While Durant's offensive value lies in his ability to score from anywhere on the floor with unmatched precision, Jokic is a master of creating for others. He draws defenses in and delivers pinpoint passes from the post or the top of the key, often putting teammates in perfect position to score. Head-to-head, KD versus Jokic, the offensive numbers. Let's take a look at their career stats to better understand the scope of their offensive impact. Regular season. Player PPG, APG, FG, %3 PT, FT, %. Kevin Durant 27.2, 4.4.50, 2.390.882. Nikola Jokic 21.8, 7.2.5, 60.3, 60.824. Playoffs. Player PPG, APG, FG, %3 PT, FT, %. Kevin Durant 29.34.2.477.35, 6.868. Nikola Jokic 27.47.6.525, 5.388.826. Clearly, both players are elite, but in very different ways. Jokic's passing numbers are extraordinary for any position, let alone a center. However, Durant's efficiency and consistency as a scorer put him among the most lethal offensive threats in league history. KD is also third all-time in scoring titles, with 4 to his name, trailing only Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. He's one of just a handful of players in NBA history to shoot over 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 85% from the free throw line across a career while averaging over 25 points per game. The bigger picture. This debate isn't about who's the better player overall. It's about offensive greatness, and more specifically, how one defines it. Is it the ability to score in every way imaginable? Or is it the ability to control an entire offense through passing and game reading? Durant's frustrations seemed rooted in the lack of nuance. Comparing two completely different offensive archetypes, a wing scorer and a playmaking big, without appreciating what each brings to the table can lead to misleading takes. Kevin Durant may not have Jokic's vision, but Jokic certainly doesn't have Durant's scoring toolkit. Both are once-in-a-generation offensive machines. But as KD reminded everyone, he's one of one. While Durant might not have officially dropped his platinum verse on the podcast yet, his responses have already set the tone and made it clear that when it comes to discussing offensive greatness, he's always in the conversation.